Welcome to Lead with Clarity. This is a space for leaders who want to grow without losing themselves in the process. Each episode is a short reflection on leadership, influence, and the inner work that shapes how we show up for others. It's not hype, not noise, just clear thinking for the journey of leading well. Today's episode is entitled Capability is Not Permission, which is the leadership case for strategic restraint. Here we go. I want to start today with something simple, something short, but don't let the brevity fool you. This one has the weight of a full leadership philosophy packed into just 9 words. Here it is. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. This is something that I say quite often. Let's sit with that for a moment. I've been in rooms where decisions got made for exactly one reason, because they could. The budget was there, the authority was there, the technology was there, and nobody said no. Yet weeks later, the team was exhausted. The strategy had shifted sideways, and everyone was quietly wondering how they got there. The truth is, capability without judgment is not power, it's just motion. And motion without direction is one of the most expensive things a leader can produce. I've watched talented executives, genuinely brilliant people, make decisions that cost them credibility, momentum, and trust. Not because they lacked intelligence, but because they skipped the question that matters most, which is not can we, but should we? Here's where a lot of leaders get this wrong. They hear this idea and they translate it as hesitation. They think restraint means weakness. They think that pausing means stalling. And they assume that if they have the authority, the resources, and the green light, moving forward is the responsible choice. And it's not, at least not always. The most dangerous moment in any organization is when no one is asking why. When execution has become automatic, when we've always done it this way, or we have the budget, so let's use it, when those things pass for strategy. That's not leadership. That is momentum masquerading as intention. So here's the reframe I'd like for you to carry forward. Restraint is a leadership skill. Choosing not to act when you could act is one of the most sophisticated things you can do as a leader. It communicates discernment. It models discipline. It protects your team from unnecessary drag and your organization from strategic drift. The leaders I most respect have a particular quality. They're not just decisive, they're selective. They understand that every yes has a cost, measured in focus, in energy, and in organizational bandwidth. And they guard those resources like they are irreplaceable because they are. When you ask should we before you ask how do we, everything changes. You stop reacting. You start leading. So here's what I'd like for you to take into your week. Think about one decision that is currently on your plate. Something you have the authority to move on. Something the resources exist to support. Something that your team is probably waiting for you to greenlight. Now ask the harder question, not whether you can, but whether you should. And if the answer is yes, ask why now. If you cannot answer that clearly, that's your signal to pause. The discipline of that question, practiced consistently, is what separates leaders who are busy from leaders who are effective. Today's episode was built around 9 words. Those words are, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Capability is not permission. Authority is not wisdom. Resources are not direction. The leaders who build something lasting are not the ones who can do the most. They're the ones who choose the most carefully. They ask harder questions before easier ones. They model restraint as strength. And they create cultures where should we is welcomed, not silenced. That discipline is rare. It is also the difference that matters the most.